Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. On this episode, we got to talk about the concert heard all around the world. The pop out, K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar held it down for the West Coast. Also, Justin Timberlake and Travis Scott arrested on the same damn week. Tyla got an awkward interview with the Breakfast Club, and we got to explain that.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
And Cardi B lets us know what she thinks about today's generation. We got that and much, much more, y'all.
You ain't gonna say nothing else before, we continue to party?
That's the Perfect Talk podcast. Let's get it. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. I'm holding it down for y'all solo dolo, so let's get right into it. It's time for Plicker Spotlight Story. We set every week off with a new story. Might be a big story, might be a small story, but Plicker's gonna shine a light on it either way. And this week, everybody was talking about it. The concert heard all around the world. Kendrick Lamar's The Pop Out. It went down in LA on Juneteenth. We was all hyped for it. We was like, yo, we've been hearing weeks and weeks of diss tracks. We've been bumping to it. We've already crowned Kendrick the winner, but it's time for him to take that victory lap, and that's exactly what that concert was. Started off, with a lot of West Coast homies out there, gave respect to DJ Head, gave respect to DJ Mustard, let them hold it down, do what they was gonna do, and then it was time for the big dog, Kendrick Lamar came out and represented for the West Coast. Started it off with Euphoria.
Okay, it's 3 ghosts left and I see 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love her to death, and then 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase.
He chose violence. Started it off with a banger, changed up a couple lyrics on them. The energy was hyped, set it off for the right thing, brought out Ab Soul for the 616 in LA. And I respect that he went through a lot of them disses, he didn't skip over any of them, but he didn't only focus it on Drake and keep it all about negativity. The night was extremely positive, extremely huge for the West Coast. They was able to take a picture with all the different crews on stage, showing love, no violence, no nothing. And it was beautiful. Dr. Dre came out, and then Dr. Dre introduced Not Like Us.
You ain't gonna say nothing else before, we continue to party?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this. I see dead people.
Hey, must have on a beat, how deep out any rap nigga, he a freak though, man.
To I believe a 4-song encore, a total of 5 times being recorded. So it was gangster. And then to top it off with the cherry on top, Kendrick Lamar went out in LA and shot the They Not Like Us video this past weekend. Had a lot of cameos in it. I even saw the white girl, Bobby Atloff, up in that thing.
You gotta say what's bragging. Hey, y'all gonna scare her away, blood. Y'all gonna scare her away.
Bobby, say what's bragging, Bobby. Say what's bragging, Bobby.
They really wanted to put that knife in Drake's back. They really wanted to twist the dagger, and they did, And it was good to see. I think it was good for hip-hop. It was good for the West Coast. Shows where we're at as a society. I think you see a lot of things with appointment television. I think we've seen it with the roast of Tom Brady. You see it with certain sporting events when everybody's all watching the same thing at the same time. It just, brings back the olden days of Twitter or X or whatever you call it, where everybody's just live tweeting as it's going on. Matter of fact, when it first aired, I wasn't even on at home. I was able to see it all online just because you had the streamers showing love to it. You had people reposting the entire concert online. You had people posting clips. You had people reacting to it live. So it was definitely a way to take advantage of a full viral moment. And shout out to Kendrick making it available on Amazon because, no way that the majority of people would have seen that, without Amazon streaming that live for people to see. And then just with it being on Twitch, with just having so much availability, you have people do, like I said, live reactions to it. That increased visibility like tenfold. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar for being smart on that. And I think it was a good way to just, let this beef just be settled. Very unnerving for Drake to see a lot of his friends or former friends, people that he's cheered on at basketball games, gave high fives and pounds to, really enjoy dancing on his grave. Really enjoy crip walking to the They Not Like Us on stage, whether they was part of the set or not. It was it was weird. I think like the society likes to build people up and then watch it like to tear them down. Why so many people are anti Drake? You know what I mean? Like LeBron had no problem being there dancing. DeMar DeRozan, you know, who used to play out in Toronto, had no issue being on there. Russell Westbrook definitely was representing for the West. But it's just like, it was just really telling. You know what I mean? Chloe Bailey was spotted in the crowd. Everybody else, it was just like, why y'all so quick to turn on Drake? But maybe there's something behind the scenes that we don't know. Maybe Drake ain't moving the right way. Who knows? Guess you know who your real homies are, Drake. You know what I mean? Even the Game was catching flack for not being there and showing support. SZA was there with a disguise on. I don't know why. Maybe she didn't want to be spotted, but you know what I mean? She is on 2 tracks on For the Dogs, you know what I mean? But she was like, I ain't missing a good concert, man. We coming out. Yeah, I don't know, Drake. I think it's a really telling moment, time to look in the mirror. Maybe you weren't moving the best way in this industry, or maybe these people ain't really your friends, you know what I mean? Everybody's here for themselves, and if they think you can help get them to another level, they'll use it, but if not, you know what I mean, they'll be quick to turn their backs on you. I was pretty neutral in this beef. I'm a fan of hip-hop, so I just love good music regardless, and I feel bad for the people who did pick a side, because the Drake stands are still going at it online. They like, yo, Kendrick brought out Dr. Dre and Tommy the Clown, but you gonna talk about A Minor, you know what I mean, and all this stuff. When did Dr. Dre get Michelle A pregnant and all this? When they met, and I'm like, yo, y'all bringing up stuff it's just getting so weird. But it's like nobody wants to admit defeat. Nobody wants to let it go. You know what I mean? And they go hard on the internet. They are every day. I wake up to a new fact about Kendrick Lamar hired bots to stream Not Like Us, but then you know what I mean, it gets debunked and all this nonsense. It's like, as a fan of hip hop, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy. I like Push Ups. I like Family Matters. Them songs get me pumped in the gym, you know what I mean? Same way that Euphoria and Not Like Us get us pumped, you know what I mean? I think I came out the winner because, you know, we got good hip hop from it. We got to hear Kendrick Lamar spitting at his top potential at an actual goal, something that he cared about, you know what I mean? He was ready to take it out. So I ain't mad at that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but to be here and be like, nah, you foul because you said this, but you got a homeboy that did that, and how you gonna bring people on stage that made songs with Drake and all that? It's like, come on now, this is hip hop. This is a business at the end of the day, and I think if anything, it tells us a lot more of how Drake was moving in this industry, man. But Drake, you definitely, no one can, even deaf people know Drake make good music. So, Drake, you have nothing to worry about. Keep doing what you do. You ain't got to be everybody's friend. You ain't got to be everybody's homeboy. You ain't got to be clicked up. Keep doing what you do. Make them hits and move differently. But shout out to Kendrick Lamar, man. I didn't put him in this week's winners and losers, but you know Kendrick Lamar won the week, man, because everybody was talking about it from Juneteenth on. The entire NBA Finals, which I'm going to get to in a second, happened, y'all. And that Kendrick Lamar had way more viral moments than the entire NBA Finals. You know what I mean? So it just shows you how big of a week Kendrick Lamar had. But that's going to take us over here to our next segment over here at Perfect Talk Podcast, and it's called Winners and Losers. Somebody got to win the week. Somebody got to lose the week. Losers, don't take offense. I'm not calling you a loser when you're in the loser segment. I'm just saying you lost the week. I lose the week sometimes. I got a lot of things I got to get repaired right now. I'm not passing judgment, but somebody got to win it. Somebody got to lose it. And we starting with the winners, man. The Boston Celtics won their 18th championship. That's right. The NBA Finals ended with Boston defeating the Dallas Mavericks 4-1. It should have been a sweep, because that whole I know the sportscasters and the people that had to travel back and forth was tight that they just had to go back to Boston for it, but they got to win it in front of their crowd. Shout out to Boston. They passed the Lakers, so now they have the most titles. Jason Tatum, you know what I mean? It's good to see the young boy get his title. Jaylen Brown, real humble dude. He's highest paid in the league right now. And definitely earned it, you know what I mean, by bringing home the title, you know what I mean? And it's good to see, like when you see Patrick Mahomes is one of the highest paid, or the highest paid, and then he wins the MVP in the Super Bowl. It's good to see Jaylen Brown, the highest paid in the NBA, win the NBA Finals MVP. So I was very happy for them dudes over there. Porzingis, he started out as a Knick, so you know what I mean, to see him finally get his ring, that's kind of cool too. Wish it was the Knicks getting it, but that's neither here nor there. But before we move on to the losers, and shout out again to the Boston Celtics, this was a very lackluster NBA Finals. Like I said, the Kendrick Lamar concert had way more viral moments than the entire Finals did. And I mean, that's one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world. That's the biggest diss track that's out possibly ever, but definitely right now. So maybe I'll cut him a little bit of slack on that end. But not only did the pop out Kendrick Lamar concert have way more viral moments, than the NBA Finals. The beginning of the WNBA season has had way more viral moments than the NBA Finals. Like, what's going on, NBA? Like, this is the same thing that happened in the NCAA Final Four. The women's tournament was way more exciting than the men's. So I don't know what's going on with men's basketball. Like, y'all got a beast. Y'all created a beast. Y'all created a Frankenstein, because this women's basketball, be it WNBA or college, is stealing all the eyeballs and attention. And the most viral thing to come out of the NBA Finals was Jason Tatum stealing everybody's lines.
Did it. We did it!
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now?
What are they gonna say now? M-I-C-K. What are they gonna say now?
I know everybody will wonder what would happen if we didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
From Kanye, Kevin Garnett, Steph Curry. Hopefully, by the time Jason Tatum wins his second ring, hopefully he'll be more creative, but looking bad. And this week's losers, other than the NBA for having a lackluster final, music superstars getting arrested. Yeah, it was a bad week for two of your faves, you know what I mean? Your guy JT, NSYNC fame, you know what I mean? Mind them in Trolls. Real JT OGs remember the movie Alpha Dog too. That's a little cult classic right there. Go check that one out. Justin Timberlake was arraigned and released from custody on June 18th after he was charged with driving while intoxicated in Sag Harbor, New York, otherwise known as the Hamptons. Sag Harbor police say he was pulled over after he ran through a stop sign and his 2025 BMW, okay, I see you stunting, was weaving along the road. He is scheduled to virtually appear in court on July 26th. The same day he's set to begin a 2-night stand in Krakow, Poland. And I know y'all seen the mugshot where your man's pupils were just unfindable. You know what I mean? But his attorney said they will vigorously defend the DWI allegations, which I doubt they will. They're going to kind of let this go get brushed under and have, Justin do his little probation, whatever he's going to do, his little community service, pay his fines, and forget about this as it happened. Because the video we seen, it wasn't that crazy. He luckily didn't hurt anybody. Now, what he did was very stupid, and it could have definitely ended up much worse. Once again, not passing judgments. I got my own driving while stuff out there, on my past, so I know the mistake is easy to make, but only thing Justin could do is learn from it, because I hate when I see repeat offenders, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. She seems to be on the right path, but I hate when I hear that you got arrested for this and then something happens again, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, then I see you acting crazy in public and I'm like, is she drunk right now? You know what I mean? So it's good to see people turn their life around, and hopefully we won't see Justin back in the same situation again. He spoke for the first time.
Lefts and rights, and it's been a tough week. But you're here, and I'm here, and nothing can change this moment right now. I know sometimes I'm hard to love, but you keep on loving me, and I love you right back. Thank you so much.
Addressing a crowd at a concert in Chicago, saying that it's been a tough week, and also adding that his fans as well have had ups and downs and faced lefts and rights. Don't mess up the tour money, bro. That's all I'm gonna tell you. This nonsense like this isn't necessary. Figure out what's going on. Y'all got the means. Ain't no reason you should be driving while intoxicated. You got the means for drivers. You got the means for Ubers. You got the means for all types of transportation. So you know better than this, JT. And thank you for giving us a funny mugshot this week, man. Someone else who gave us a funny mugshot this week, and I'm gonna put him in the same category. He lost a week. Travis Scott, man. Travis Scott out here getting locked up in Miami for trespassing and disorderly conduct. Seems like he got into some type of altercation with people on a boat dock. It had something to do with a yacht. When the cops came, they said that Travis Scott, whose real name is Jaquez Berman Webster, was standing by the dock yelling at vessel occupants. Police officers asked him to sit down, but he repeatedly stood back up and disregarded their orders. Sergeant Lemus of the Miami Beach Police warned Scott to leave the dock or face arrest. Throughout the long walk from the vessel to the boardwalk, the defendant walked backwards, yelling obscenities to the occupants of the vessel. The rapper left the dock but returned 5 minutes later and began yelling once again, becoming erratic, disturbing the peace of the occupants of the marina and nearby residential buildings, causing a public disturbance. When asked if he had been drinking alcohol, Travis Scott responded, "It's Miami," allegedly. Now this is coming a few weeks after. Didn't Travis Scott just get in a fight over like cans with with Tyga, and you know what I mean? Like, it ain't looking good when, you know what I mean, you just getting altercations everywhere you go. Like, this should be the year of Travis Scott just laying low after what happened, you know what I mean, a couple years back at Astroworld. So you would think he's about to go back on a tour. He gonna keep it calm. He gonna keep it cool, keep it collected. But it seems like people are pushing Travis Scott's buttons. They're getting some real aggression out of that guy. You got to know how to channel that aggression. You know what I mean? Take it to the studio, take it to the gym, take it to the marketing boardrooms where, you know, you seem to be a genius, Travis Scott, but do not let these people, you know what I mean, get you handcuffed. Because the same thing I told JT, y'all gonna mess up the tour money and then you ain't gonna be able to travel. You know what I'm saying? Same thing I told Sexy Red for getting in the fight at the airport. You're gonna mess up the tour money and you know that's the key to the bag right there. Now you're gonna have to start doing stuff you don't want to do for money. Now, do I think this will be like anything big for Travis Scott? Something that he has to worry about? Nah. You know what I mean? This is gonna blow over. It's trespass and disorderly conduct. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bumped down to something else. But it's like when you start seeing a trend happening, using the headline last month, using the headlines this month, you was fighting there, you was getting an altercation here, this time you got arrested. You know what I mean? Like, it's not trending in a good way. So, as a huge fan of both Justin Timberlake and Travis Scott, I wish better for y'all, man. And I know y'all gonna be back on the winner side of things, man. And that right now is gonna take us on to our next segment over here at Perfect Talk Podcast, and it's called Have You Heard? I hear headlines in the news. I'll bring them to the table and see if you guys have heard. International superstar Tyla appeared on The Breakfast Club last week. Had an interview go viral. The main reason it went viral because The Breakfast Club posted a clip in which Tyla did not want to answer a question. Let's get into that.
School me on these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we not? Por favor.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
Shut up, man.
I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. I like that. That's good. That's even better. All right, Tyla.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
Good?
I'm good. Why you guys?
We got some more
because the label.
I
want you to know this for other interviews, right? Okay. When they go in and they tell like the interviewers what to say and what not to say, this and that, that's what makes it awkward.
Yeah. I'm not. Are you awkward?
No,
I'm not awkward.
Mm-mm. You want to see all the questions they told us not to ask?
Yo, leave her alone, man. Stop it.
Someone must leave the room.
Stop it.
And that was a really weird way to approach, you know what I mean, that question. But I'll give y'all some back knowledge on it. I guess in South Africa, where Tyla is from, she identifies as colored. Now, it's spelled a little different than how we spell it here. It's got a U in it. But it's a term that she grew up using. Over here, colored is a term that we don't like. Other than the NAACP, for some reason, keeping it in their title, black people do not rock with the term colored. Now, you might hear people use something like people of color to talk about, you know, maybe non-whites, but you ain't about to walk around calling people colored. That don't fly here. South Africa, apparently, it doesn't fly either. They say it's an outdated term. It's something that they don't use anymore. But apparently, Tyla grew up using this term. So when Charlamagne asked her that, she just didn't want to get into it, which I can understand why, because there's a confusion between how it's used in America versus how it was used in Africa. But either way, it's still a term that I think is catching her flack. It's also something that she addressed in April in her cover story in Cosmopolitan magazine when she said, when people are like, you're denying your blackness, it's not that at all. I never said that I'm not black. It's just that I grew up as a South African knowing myself as colored. And now that I'm exposed to more things, it's made me other things too. I'm also mixed race. I'm also black. I know people like finding a definition for things, but it's an and, not or. Which is a perfect question, answer that she could have just gave Charlamagne in the moment. But looking back to your reps and then having your reps say that they don't want to answer certain questions, it just looks funny. And I'm glad that they did keep that in the interview. Now, from Charlamagne's side of it, because I also listen to The Breakfast Club and Charlamagne's podcast, The Brilliant Idiots, he expresses when artists come in and say, I don't want to talk about this certain thing, I don't want to discuss this topic, they're like, well, we don't have to do this interview with you. And we are going to ask certain questions. You can respond to however you want to, but it's our obligation to ask because people are going to wonder why we didn't bring certain things up. At that point, the rep could either be like, hey, we're not going to do the interview, or it's like, hey, do you want to be trending tomorrow? Most people probably choose that they want to be trending and coach their artists through it. Why Tyla wasn't coached in a way to answer that question just shows that maybe she needs a little bit just more artist development or media training, but I think her answer would have been perfect. It's a cultural difference. It's a term that people wouldn't use here. Guess what? When something's corny, I call it. When somebody's being soft, I might use the term stop being a. You know what I mean? I can't use that on camera. You know what I mean? I couldn't even let y'all know what I just said just now. And the fact of the matter is, even though y'all didn't hear me, y'all filled in your own blanks. So maybe there's some terms in our own lives that are kind of outdated, but we grew up using, and we know we don't mean it in a bad way. And it's possible that she doesn't mean that in a bad way. But you're going to have to get good at explaining, because when people are asking a lot of questions about a certain thing that might be confusing, turning back to your reps and asking for help looks wild. I would have thought, I knew Tyla was young, but you know what I mean? She's a Grammy winner. She's had a single that, you know what I mean, has climbed the charts. I would have thought that she would have been past the phase in her career where she wouldn't be able to answer certain questions. Shout out to the Breakfast Club for showing that, you know what I mean? And it honestly, it helped her, it put her to the table because she had to release a statement afterwards. Let's get to the statement. You know, she took it to X, where everybody goes where they make their official statement and said, never deny my blackness. I don't know where that came from. I'm mixed with black, Zulu, Irish, Mauritanian, I might have pronounced that wrong, Indian, and colored. In South A, I would be classified as a colored woman, and in other places, I'd be classified as a black woman. Race is classified differently in different parts of the world. That's another thing, too. If being mixed race, it probably would have given you, I don't want to say leeway to use that term, but I think people would have understood it. Be like, oh, okay, just she's not only black, she's not only what we know her to be from the continent of Africa. She has Indian in there, she has Irish in there. So if anything, she's supposed to have pride for those cultures as well. So maybe that would be why she doesn't want to use the term black, but would rather use something that shows that she might be a hodgepodge or a melting pot of different cultures all in one person. So I understand that. I get it. And y'all gonna have to make sure that she's, you know, got her finger on the trigger when next time that question comes. Have you heard? Cardi B reacts to a bill automatically registering men aged 18 to 26 for selective service. On June 14th, the House of Representatives passed a provision automatically registering men from 18 to 26 for selective service. It was included in the National Defense Authorization Act, which sets forth the U.S. government's military and national security priorities for the next fiscal year. And Cardi B decided that she was going to react to it because she don't think the 18 to 26-year-olds of today is going to hold us down.
I just read an article saying that the House just passed a bill that they're going to automatically register men from 18 to 26 for war, okay? And all I want to say is to America, good luck with that. These new little niggas are TikTokers, baby. These motherfuckers ain't gonna fight no war. We gonna die. You gonna die. You might as well just keep motherfucking investing money in your guns, because these new kids, you want to send these new kids to fight these wars? The TikTok fucking hip shakers? Out of your mind. This is a new America, baby. This ain't the 19 motherfucking. Nah, like seriously, you gonna draft these kids that be TikToking all day to fight them, what? Most likely what? Them Russians? Them motherfuckers that be fighting bears and shit? And motherfucking climbing mountains to go to school and whatever?
So what changed with that bill is right now all selective services all selective service registration was done either electronically, done by paper, or done at the post office, where now it's just going to be an automatic process once they turn 18 and from the ages of 18 to 26. You know what I mean? Just to inform y'all what changed there. But Cardi B was not feeling it. What I love most about Cardi B is she knows how to use this internet thing to her benefit. You know what I mean? She's not the youngest, you know what I mean? She ain't one of these kids that she talking about the TikTok, but she knows how to use the internet just as good as they do. And if she needs to go viral, she'll find a moment to do it, man. And that brings us to our next segment, man. Things I seen on the internet. Sometimes I see some things on the internet and I bring them here to the people at Perfect Talk Podcast so I can show y'all, man. And this week, your boy Lil Uzi Vert, man, dropped a ad for Marc Jacobs. You know, where he's showing off his purse game and his dress game, letting them calves show. You know what I mean? He had his do-rag on tight, had his bag game right. And I had to ask the homies. I'm like, what's going on here? What is this? I mean, I'm truly confused. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking closer at it. I'm hoping these are shorts, maybe. But the fact of the matter is I can't tell. And the top definitely looks like a blouse. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on in these streets, man? And I say that as Uzi's one of my favorite rappers, man. I don't know what this is, you know what I mean? And also, you know, Uzi's a fashionista, but look, we ain't judging the dress thing. Do what you're gonna do. It's also a thing in hip hop where I feel like is like, yo, I'm so hard, I'm gonna do the dress thing. I'm gonna wear, you know what I mean, nail polish. I'm gonna do this. And I think in each his own, but there are a generation of kids out there who are trying to figure themselves out, and they don't know what the hell to do when they see something like that. You know what I mean? Another one I seen was my guy Wiz Khalifa. You know, Wiz drops his workout videos, and he don't mind what he wear in the video. He might just be out there in his drawers. You know, Gilly called him out for that, and you know, he say I'm gonna do it anyway. He on his Muay Thai. He you know what I mean? You know, he could kick your ass if he really needed to. So he gonna wear whatever the hell he want to wear, and he dropped this one. One of my favorite comments is so ain't nobody gonna say nothing about the sundress that he wearing? You know what I mean? Like, I think the bonnet make it worse too. These are two of my favorite Pennsylvania rappers, so you know what I mean. It's with a heavy heart that I'm seeing these things I see on the internet, but I'm also not judging. Let me know what y'all think. You know what I mean? Hey, to each his own. I'm not with the dress thing. You know what I mean? I'm not with the purse thing. I'm not with the nail painting thing, but. Also, I'm also for everybody. Be your most authentic self. That's what I tell y'all every week, right? Spread love is the Brooklyn way. So be the most you. You know what I'm saying? And if that's how you want to represent yourself, yes, but you still are going to get these jokes, especially here at the Perfect Talk Podcast, man. Shout out to everybody out there checking us out. That is another episode in the books, man. Go check me out on X at DJ Playboy. Check me out on Instagram at Plickapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. Also, follow Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio, and make sure you check out the website www.perfecttalkpodcast.com for every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. Also, you can get your merch. You know, we got the DJ Playboy shirts coming soon. You know, we got the mugs on there. You can listen to every single episode right there on the homepage. You ain't got to go nowhere. Just let it play from episode 240 to all the way down to number 1. You know what I mean? So go back to the time with us, and we holding it down. Also, you get your stickers there, your t-shirts, all of that. So www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. We holding it down for y'all, and I'm up out of here, but I want y'all to keep holding it down for your guy DJ Playboy, and spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Peace.